Hey guys, my name is Jonathan Henderson, owner and founder of Pressure Washing Marketing Pros. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about why word of mouth is no longer enough for your pressure washing business, right? And the first caveat I do want to have before you guys destroy me is I'm going to say that word of mouth is the best source of marketing, right? Because you paid $0 to get that customer. And also the second thing is usually the customers you get from word of mouth already know your price. They're willing to work with you on a time, for an estimate, scheduling, all of that. They're your perfect avatar when it comes to the type of customer that you want to work with. So I will go ahead and say that word of mouth is the best source of marketing, right? Because it means that you built a strong brand. It means that you have brand recognition, brand awareness, and it means you do a damn good job, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started in the video, because a lot of pressure washing businesses that we work with that, are investing in digital marketing for the first time, they say, we don't know what happened, Jonathan. Usually we get X amount of calls during the busy season, or we can predict this, that, and the other. But there's so many factors and so many variations when it comes to why word of mouth is no longer enough. And so that first point is going to be your company is growing, right? So if your company is growing, you can't just rely on just word of mouth, right? You can't just rely on that, because once you get new employees, once you get more equipment, once you get trucks, right? Multiple trucks and all that, you got to go ahead and pay off those car notes. You got to feed your employees, and you got to pay off that equipment, or even pay for that equipment at that point, right? So if you're going to do all of that and you're going to increase your income, what do you need to go ahead and do? You need to get more leads into your business, right? And to do so, you can't just solely rely on word of mouth. You have to use some other source or some other form of marketing in order to go ahead and do so. So that's the number one, that's one reason why you can't just rely on word of mouth and why it's no longer enough. Second reason is going to be you can't target where you want to be, right? So let's just say that there's a high income area and you like working with those type of customers and clients. Well, if you never worked in that neighborhood and you never worked with their friends, whatever it may be, then at that point, you're not going to get that type of clientele or those customers, right? Let's say that the customers that you have may be low income, median income, so you're getting a lot of referrals from those type of customers, opposed to putting the demand in their face and being like, look, I'm doing Google ads in this area, I'm doing Facebook ads to these people that fit my perfect customer avatar or my perfect customer. I'm going ahead and reaching out to them with marketing means. When you are relying on word of mouth, you don't necessarily have control of who you can target and where you're targeting at. You're just relying literally on the whims of somebody saying, hey, you should work with XYZ pressure washing company, right? So you don't have control and you can't target where you want to be. And that's my second reason, right? My third reason is speed, or I should say time. You can't grow as fast as you want to off word of mouth. It's because, like the previous point I talked about, you're literally relying off the words out of somebody's mouth, right? And so you can't necessarily scale that way in the sense that, okay, I'm gonna get more word of mouth this month, right? You can definitely say, I'm gonna invest more in the Facebook ads. I'm gonna target more of these areas. I'm gonna, expand my radius on Google ads, right? You can definitely do something like that, and you can get more customers that way, and you can increase the time that it takes in order to grow your pressure washing business, right? But if you're just relying on word of mouth, the time that it takes to grow your pressure washing business might be 3 to 5 times longer at that point, because you don't have any control. And that's like the whole narrative of this whole video, is just control, right? But yeah, you don't have the control. And so you're literally at the whims of just waiting, playing a waiting game on when you're going to grow and when somebody's going to go ahead and call you. So, if you have benchmarks and goals to reach, and you're just relying on word of mouth, you're probably not going to reach those goals as fast as you want if you're not supplementing it with other marketing sources, right? Like Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, all of that. Also, my next point is going to be new competition, right? New competition is going to take your pool of customers that, give you such good reviews and refer you. They're going to take some of those customers as well, because they're going to be putting the marketing in those people's faces, right? So whether they see a bandit sign, whether they get a door hanger, whether they get an EDDM, or even, this happens on Google ads a lot, even if they're typing in your brand name and they happen to click on somebody who's running Google ads, actual ad, and they say, hey, is this so-and-so pressure washing company? And that person can go, no, it's not, but you know what, I can go ahead and give you a quote as well. And if that customer bites on that, then at that point, you may just have lost out on a customer that could have worked with you for, who knows how long, right? So you don't want that situation to happen, which is why you should always be marketing in different arenas and different avenues as well, right? Because new competition is going to take your pool of referrals, right? Because they're going to take some of your customers at that point. Which brings me to my next point is marketing, especially digital marketing, creates new word of mouth. How do you get more word of mouth, right? You get more customers. And how do you get more customers? You market on more sources, right? So that's why word of mouth is not only enough, because if you want to acquire new customers that go ahead and give you more referrals and more word of mouth, you got to attain them first. And so how do you attain them? Just like I said, Google ads, Facebook ads, yard signs, EDDM, there's a bunch of marketing things out there that you guys can go ahead and do in order to capture more of those customers, right? So just to recap everything that I said, right? First thing is if your company's growing, you got to go ahead and feed your employees, pay off equipment, and pay that car note, right? That's the first reason why I said word of mouth is just no longer enough. Second is you can't target specific demographics, you can't target specific neighborhoods and the type of customer that you would want, right? You can't target that. You may get them, but it's just a game that you're playing, right? It's just rolling the dice. You can't specifically target them like you could with like Facebook ads, Google ads, or other marketing sources, like I said, like EDDM, yard signs, all of that, right? Time. In time/speed, I should say, was my third reason, right? When it comes to you can't grow as fast as you want. If you're just relying on word of mouth and you have certain benchmarks that you want to reach, whether it's monthly revenue, yearly revenue, whatever it may be, it may take you a little bit of time to reach that because you're just literally relying on word of mouth, right? Opposed to if you put some oil on that fire, then at that point, whether that's like Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever it may be, it'll speed the process up on things, right? New competition was my fourth point, right? New competition can go ahead and take away from your pool of people that are giving you referrals, right? And so like I said, you should constantly have your foot on the pedal as well when it comes to also acquiring, new customers, which was my last point is marketing creates new word of mouth. Because how do you get new word of mouth? You get a new customer, right? So hopefully this video provided you guys full awareness on why word of mouth is no longer enough, especially with the various ways that you can go ahead and acquire customers and clients now. And I didn't even mention the next doors, the Angie's List, and God forbid anybody, but still, Home Advisor, all of that, right? So with that being said, like I said, I'll definitely see you guys in the next video. Hopefully this video provided you value so you guys can go ahead and pick up the phone and, call a marketing company like ourselves. Like I said, you can schedule a free strategy session with us in the description below, or you can go ahead and order some yard signs, whatever it may be, in order to acquire new customers and not solely rely on just word of mouth. But until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.